Welcome back, friends. I was going to introduce myself as Tenshy, but that's quite false. I am Keya,
And I am Tenshy.
and together we are Inspired Alignment. And we are back with you once again, back on the floor. I think we did the last couple of episodes up high because I was having back pains, but we're back on the floor where I feel comfortable.
Yes, we're definitely more comfortable. It's just more relaxing.
More in my own zone. So, where are we going today? Are you taking us on a journey?
Yes.
We're going to take you on a journey, actually.
Yes.
For sure.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but every time we sit and have a conversation, we try not to talk too much about what we want to talk. We want it to be more spontaneous, and we just set the intention and we put it out there. It's like, okay, whatever information needs to come through us, whatever wisdom needs to come through us, we allow it, and it's always spontaneous, genuine. What else?
Surprising,
even for us.
Yeah, and fun,
and inspiring. Definitely inspiring.
We had a bunch of friends over today, which was very beautiful and like partially spontaneous.
Yes.
Part of it was planned, and then another whole additional part to this morning was completely spontaneous. But it was like a truly beautiful day.
It was.
So many things about this day. I don't know if that's the deep dive that we want to go on, but like we have a beautiful community out here on the island, and we, want to lift each other up as communities do. And so being able to be there for each other is a huge part of what that means. But sometimes when you're in a community, it feels like if your community is big enough, every moment of every day, someone is going to need something. Mm-hmm. So I think our community has found ourselves in like an exhausting loop sometimes in the past, where if it's not one thing, then it's the other. And in fact, a couple of times it's been like everyone has something at the same time and we're all just trying to help.
Yes.
So we've had this like, or maybe I shouldn't say we, maybe I will just speak for myself, but I have had like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's just felt like sometimes when the help has been asked for or required, it has felt like I've been overexerting myself to be able to help in the way that I would like to, and the way that I would like help to be offered back to me when I need it. But today was different. It was a totally spontaneous call for help from one of our beautiful humans, just having a beautiful human moment and saying, if anyone is available, I could use extra support today. And there was a couple of different components that like came together in just the way that it should be, and nothing was forced. And it did not feel like I was overexerted today somehow.
I think the main thing that I noticed today is like not only that it was spontaneous, but it also was everybody from their strength, like helping from their strength.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say and do this without names.
Yeah, I know.
But everybody in our community, and you guys know who you are because you are our number one viewers right now. We all pulled or put our strengths in the situation today. But I think this is the vision that I'm having right now. It's like the beautiful flower, and the core of the flower in the middle, which is the person that is asking for help kind of thing. But the way I see it is like the rose bud, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as she vulnerably asked for help and dared to ask for help, the rose opened. And it's like, I am open to receive. And then each one of us outside of that being supported her, creating a beautiful flower, like all the petals around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it creates harmony. And I think it's important to say that opening of the flower, because at the beginning it's like, what are we going to talk about today? And I'm like, we just experienced today a beautiful opening of the heart, and that reminded me somehow that the last conversation that we had, we were talking about the chakras, and we mentioned that the state where we are at right now is the opening of the heart, or is at the heart level. I don't know if you guys remember. If you haven't watched that episode, is actually a series of 2 episodes, right? Like going back to our, how do you call it? Going back in time?
Our origin story.
How we could be mirroring our transformation, our process of becoming what we are today with the chakras and the chakra journey. So if you haven't watched it, I invite you to watch that episode. I think it's episode number 5 and 6.
Oh, honey, who knows?
Yes, 5 and 6. Anyways, so yeah, we stayed at the level of the heart, and we say we're going to be discovering now how to live from the heart. And today it was so obvious that to be at the level of the heart, you have to have somehow an opening for the light, actually the light of the solar plexus, which comes from the word sun, sol, to go through the heart. And if the heart remains closed and shut, that light cannot go through. Opening of the heart. Can we talk about opening of the heart?
On which kind of a level?
Well, in our experience.
Yeah, like
in our own personal journeys. We have had a beautiful week. Very, very heart opening week. Very sincere, very raw, I will call it raw. At the same time, zero drama.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we have had somehow a conversation that I didn't have to rehearse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I didn't have to find my strength, the one that I was talking before, to talk about these things. It's like, no, I'm already there.
That's what I was going to say. Like there was no hesitation or fear or what is the word? Like, you know, when you're choosing your words carefully, so you kind of have to think about what you're going to say beforehand because you know your intention, but you want to make sure how you say it.
Like overthinking.
Your intention's going to come through. So yeah, rehearsing, like you say. And yeah, we've had a lot of conversations since we moved into here, kind of moving through all the harder parts, which we have talked about in previous episodes. And this week, as you said, was like none of that. It was, I don't know if it's because we've reached a different point where that maybe isn't so much necessary anymore. I don't feel like, I don't know, it's like a ladder, right? So like the last step was kind of like, oh, this is hard and like this one's got sticky stuff on it. And now we're at the next one and this one is easy and like feels better. But I'm trying to say that who knows what the next one's going to be. It's not like we're not going to go back to having points of hard conversation.
Who knows? Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe
Exactly
not. maybe not. But this is actually very important because maybe not. But to remain open. That yes, can be conversations that can be easier, and there will be conversations that will be a little bit more difficult, but still dare to have the conversation, dare to share your truth, dare to actually be guided. Because even though I didn't rehearse the conversation per se, I do know that I come to a state of being where I want to speak my truth, and I want my truth to be taken with love and with openness. And I want my words to land in the way that I intend, which is always, let's find a way how to do this, because I do not know. We have been talking a lot about balance this week, which is curious and at the same time in synchronicity with what's happening in the cosmos with the astros and the planets and the alignment of the planets. It is magical when you live with the intention of being in alignment, and then somehow that self-alignment aligns you with a bigger cosmos. Because in our home, our kids, we talked about FIFA and Nico last time, and how those two beautiful beings, Felix from your family and Nicholas from my family, those two children are, I will say, the energy vortex of these families, of each family.
Did we go into that like a lot in the
don't
podcast?
know. I think so.
I know, like in our personal conversations we have. So sometimes it's this feels so much like just one of our personal conversations that sometimes it's tricky to remember. Because in the most recent one, and we were talking about the chakras and how all that worked. I know we've touched on those two kids, but like I think your whole theory about dancing, I can't remember. Yes.
Dragons.
I don't think we've shared any of that, and I don't know if that's where you want to go, but I don't know if you've gone too far into that.
Yeah. Okay.
With our friends here.
Okay. Well, maybe let's just bring
back
2-3 steps back, and let's put you into context of what these two beings, one from each family, and what I call the energetic vortex of our families, kind of not colliding, but they are, sometimes in each other's space. And us as moms are like, oh my gosh, like, trying to protect one here and one there, until this week we said like, okay, let go, step back and see what's going to happen. Although it's not this week. We have been doing it for a while. Knowing and recognizing that those beings are the way they are. And what the way they are very energetic, very, oh my goodness, they are like hurricanes.
Yeah, and they've both been raised in so many ways similarly and in so many ways different. But I think the two of us as moms and dad have seen their being for what it is and made a conscious choice to say, it is what it is. I was going to say that's a lot because that's my personal feelings. Like my son Felix, to me, I am one way and most of the times he's the other way. Like he is not, I don't find him similar to me. So where I consider myself, I don't know, like sort of reserved with my emotions. And we've actually been talking about this whole week. Like I've never really given myself permission to truly feel my emotions on a high level. And Felix has all of the permission in any moment to feel everything he wants to feel at the highest level. And I've said that about him his whole life. He feels everything at the nth degree. I think they're these beautiful beings that in some way, shape, or form, like whatever they want and whatever is important for them is like front and center for them, while at the same time being like two of the most compassionate humans. Like not always, because like both of them make choices in most days that make me want to be like, what the actual are you like? Why I don't understand why you just did what you did or said what you said, or I'm lost in how that has happened. But in their core, they are both very aware of the beings around them and like what is happening for them and care about like that experience?
Yeah, I think I see them similar, but at the same time, well, obviously, as we have always discovered,
Mm-hmm.
you have a perspective and I have another perspective, and both of them are, they complement each other, they just complete.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Ivan is back home, we have another, like a third perspective. And what I see from my side is that these two beings that are very in touch with their uniqueness. They are very in touch with their essence, with their true essence. They are both very in touch with that force that moves them not only physically but emotionally but intellectually in so many ways, and they are like whoosh, like that rush of flow of energy, and they
Mm-hmm.
are very in tune with that. The challenge for us is like it is a volcano that has no container,
Mm-hmm.
and we come from a reality, a society, like the life out there, who is always looking to put us into boxes,
Yes.
and those children do not fit in a box. So I think what is similar in our way of seeing them and raising them is like we have never been okay and content and accepted any box for any of them,
Mm-hmm.
even though causes chaos in our own homes individually, and now it's double chaos when those two get together. We have been talking and discovering that these two beings whose birthday is
Very.
in October, 3 days apart.
Yep.
Even though they are 2 years apart, they are also, their birthdays are 3 days apart. And they are in the month of October, which is the sign of Libra. And Libra talks and speaks about the balance. And it's like, oh my gosh, we've also been noticing that what Kia brings into this reality that we are co-creating together, and what I bring from to this reality that we are co-creating together, are not blue and blue, and they are two different tones and colors from two different ends.
Mm-hmm.
And since the beginning, we have been saying and realizing and knowing and accepting that it's not going to be this way and it's not going to be this way. We have to find a combined way. And in the process, these two children come like, oh my gosh, like for you is like, I don't know what to do with Nico. And for me, it's like, I don't know what to do with Felix. So both moms from both ends are getting in the middle of this co creation. And at the same time, our children are in the center, somehow guiding us.
Yeah, we've had a couple conversations about how they are like they're the ones revealing things to us as we go, because like all of our 5 kids are journeying through this shared living differently, obviously, but because those two somehow feel the safety or the, I don't know what it is, they know they have the right to take their space.
Mm-hmm.
They are the two sticking up their hand in and saying, I from this family don't necessarily feel totally seen by that family or understood.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we've had to figure out like, well, I don't know. I don't know if we figured anything out just yet. We're like literally
We are
working through
working
it
on
right
that.
now,
Yeah.
trying to figure out, well, we know what to do, I think, like in theory.
Yeah.
We
Maybe,
know, like you said, that we have to find some sort of level ground in the middle where we, like, it's not the Perdomo way and it's not the Mitchell way, it's the shared family way. But in like actuality, figuring out exactly how that looks is much more complicated than just like finding a balance on a scale. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, we said not so long ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago, that the feeling of a home, like the feeling of being at home
Mm-hmm.
for our family, Ivan and I, my family with Ivan, the four of us, is in a certain way. We feel that we are at home when dot 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 things happen. And then for the Mitchells, the feeling of being at home is when dot 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 happens. And when we come to this humongous house, when what is it that we're feeling? Because I'm feeling the energy of my family, but I'm also feeling the energy of the other family. And it's like, this doesn't feel like home. I don't want to be here. Some of our children has like, I don't want to be here. And it's like, what is making them not feel okay? Oh, because this is not home. It's like, the children are guiding us and they are telling us we want to feel at home. So how can we make them feel at home, combining this dot 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 from here and this dot 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 from here? And at the same time, it's like, how do we make them feel safe? Because home is where we feel safe. And safe of what? It's not safe of danger outside. It's safe of feeling safe of being in a place where I am being seen. It is feeling safe in a place where I am feeling heard. It is feeling safe in a place where I can be myself without judgment. And what has been happening with these two dragons that I like to see, I see two little dragons, and not in a very negative way. In the contrary, is like the power of these children are like, oh my gosh, they're worth preserving as they are. And what has happened is like, you have been seeing in Nico, like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. And for me with Phyllis, it's I don't know what to do this. And that led us to the next realization. It's like the feeling of home and at the same time the structures. Because we have been seeing that one part of the family now, our family of 8, is very over-structured. My family is like, no, don't do this, don't do that, versus your family is like, yeah, let's just be and just like, and our midway is like, oh my gosh, I see the freedom in the way that you live your life, and it's like, oh, I want some of that, but not so much, because I cannot go from A to Z in one jump. And at the same time, the freedom, also too much freedom for me brings so much chaos, and I would like a little bit of structure, so the energy that I am and that I bring somehow creates something. And as for you, it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are so structured, and you cannot be you feel like a robot. Maybe you are the one talking more about my rigidity and my needs to be clean, it needs to be done, it needs to be.
Yeah, but it's you bring, and your family brings this opportunity that I like would have never seen. Like where we're sitting right now is a particular room in our house, obviously, but we call it the quiet room. And it is this space that is in theory quiet and has just different things that they can come and use. Like it is a space where we host events and we do our things. But my point that pertains to this is Felix, whenever he is feeling like wildly out of control, and I see him, I don't know, just like he gets kind of pokey and pestery when he is out of control. And he will come into here now. Actually, he came to me the one time and like was just being a pain in the butt to all the kids. And I was like, what is going on with you? Like, you seem frustrated today. You seem grouchy. You seem all these things. And you're just like bugging everybody. Why? And I was like, you need to like sit your butt down somewhere and scan your body, like start from your head to your toes and figure out what your body needs right now. Because it's something, and I don't know what it is, but like we need to do something. And he came and said, I think it will help if I clear the energy. And I was like, okay. So he was like, can I go into the quiet room and like use the bells and the singing bowl? And can I clear the energy? And in my mind, I was like, okay, sure, like whatever you want to do. And my child, who in my mind, like, he does not sit still, he's not a calm child, his focus is short and limited, whatever, the list goes on and on and on about reasons why he cannot be still and quiet. But in that reality, he came into this quiet room all alone, and he sat in the middle of the floor, and he dinged, rang the bells, sounded the bells, and did his little singing bowl. And he was probably in here for, I really want to say he was in here for almost 30 minutes, just like calming himself down, clearing his energy, literally. And he would never have a space for that in our lives, because I wouldn't describe it as chaotic, but like it's nonstop and there's not spaces for different things, especially before, like we were in the RV and we're just kind of a go, go, go family. Or maybe what I think I'm kind of coming to discover is like I am a go, go, go person. And because Felix's energy has always been like, okay, go, 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 I've never really recognized the need for a still space or a quieter space or a space without clutter. Because in the RV, again, like there was limited space and there's like stuff on all the surfaces. So yeah, we are kind of coming together to figure out how we meet in the middle. Yes, how we let go of some of our structures that are put in place. What is the word for like?
For balance.
No, I was going to say like you do certain things not because that's how you want to do them, but it's because you have lived your life for so long thinking that's how that has to be done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so letting go of some of those things where it's like I do them this way because they must be, but in reality, it's like you can let go of that because it doesn't have to be that way. That's like a story that has served you in the past, but now it doesn't have to be that way. And for me to find like, obviously I'm go, 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 because I have lived a number of years where, I don't know, it like go, go, go was kind of the only option, because I think if I sat still for too long, everything that was chaotic in my life was going to like catch up with me and I'd probably have to deal with it in like a way that I was not really prepared to. So I just kind of keep going, kind of keep outrunning all the things. And when you were talking before about Nico and Felix and the feeling of home, it is that feeling of safety and that feeling of being able to be who they are and feel like, I think we have raised families of kids who feel safe to be themselves within their family.
Mm-hmm.
But to somehow extend it into this greater thing where each of the 5 children that live here feel safe to be themselves under this roof with an additional parent figure has been interesting. But it made me think about our situation today and the heart openingness and the fact, like we were talking about the friend who reached out today and your vision of the rose and all of that stuff. And I think it's because we're finally coming to a place in our community where that safety is there too.
Yes.
Where the people who we share our space with, it was almost like before some of us were relying on each other because we just needed help and they were like, that was who was around. And it was kind of like, is anyone out there willing to like draw, like, you know, bare arms and come help me with my battle? And we were the ones who were around, like, not we, but like everyone in our community are those kinds of people who are like, yeah, I'll pick up the arms and I'll come to your
What
aid.
do you need? We'll go. Yeah.
But we're finally reaching a place where not only are we the ones who are just willing, like to answer the call, but we're finally coming to a place where the call can be received, not the call, the answer to the call can be received in a different way because the safety piece is coming into play. So the openness is there.
Yes.
I'm talking to this woman because I know she at least is following me, and I hope that you guys are following me a little bit too. But I don't know if you've ever tried to help somebody or offer your advice or offer your insights or something, and you think what you're offering is like so very valuable, and the person receiving it is saying like, thank you, this is really great and I really appreciate it, you've done X, Y, or Z. But some part of you is like, like I know they're accepting the help, but somehow I feel like it's not landing.
Or that's been my case, where you come and offer your beautiful, as I call them, your beautiful pearls, which are the wisdom that I have acquired in life, and you want to share those experiences with the people that you love the most. And it's like, well, you come with the best intention, and it's taken as you want to control their lives. It's like, you're not going to tell me what to do or how to do it. It's like, that is not my intention. I'm just sharing that I've been through that, and I can see where you're going. And I learned the wrong or the harder way to somehow save my pearls for myself and share them with the people that are willing to take them, the people that is open to receive them. It's been a long journey for me, to be honest, to discern who's open and who's not that open to receive what I have to give in terms of, I'll call it advices, but at the same time, it's like wisdom.
Yeah.
It is wisdom, and it's wisdom that I have acquired with my own personal experiences. And it's not do this, and if you do that, it's like, no, I have gone through this, and this was my journey, this was my end. I learned this. Take this. At the same time, it's respecting. It's like, you will have your journey, you will live your journey, but if you can take this.
But see, I think that's the same thing. Like, yes, that's your side of it. But I think the people who perceive whatever you're offering as like the specific example that you gave, if they perceive you as controlling, it's because they're perceiving it from a place still with their walls up. Do you know what I mean? They're perceiving it from their place of like, I don't know, I think about my mother. When I was a new mom, I lived with my parents, and my mom would do Tucker's laundry, like his baby laundry, because babies make a lot of freaking laundry. And anytime the basket was like remotely full, my mother would do Tucker's laundry. And it drove me crazy. Because from where I sat, I was like, she thinks that I am an incapable human being who can't do her own kid's laundry. And I remember like I didn't receive that with any grace whatsoever, because it made me feel, because of my own probably insecurities as a new mom, that I was like, she doesn't think I can do this. It was the story that I was telling myself, and I could not receive her help. Whereas obviously my mother was like, you're a new mom and I want to help you. Like, can I just do your laundry or Tucker's laundry?
Yeah,
like it
like,
makes
I've done that 3 times with her. You need help, and I want to help you.
And just like saw an opportunity to do something helpful. And like I said, I received it with no grace. So I think that's kind of like how I see this coming, is you're coming to be like, I'm going to do this for you. And they're like, no, because that means that you think this about me. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
I'm actually,
that is actually more common than we would like to see, admit, and accept, probably.
what is more common?
That perspective of choosing to believe that you are an incapable human being, that you are not, again, good enough. That is, oh my goodness, I think one of the deepest wounds that I have, and that I have had, and I'm still in the process of healing, that not enoughness wound. We can talk about that wound for hours and hours and hours again, but I really do not want to go as deep with that, because maybe that will be another conversation just on that topic. And the fact that we close that beautiful rose that is in our hearts to receive the help that we need, because in the back of our mind there is a story saying you're not good enough, and you're supposed to carry all your burdens by yourself, and you're supposed to solve all the problems and carry all the situations and go through all the challenges in life by yourself. It has made a very negative impact in the way that we live in this planet as spiritual beings having human experiences.
Yeah. So how nice to be coming into a chapter in our personal lives here in our house and in our community, a chapter of feeling safe enough to, I guess, like let go of that belief that it's like I'm not good enough, to feel safe enough to know that if you choose not to carry the whole weight, someone's going to be there to help you with it, to feel safe enough to be open.
But it starts with us. It's an individual task for us. It's not only an individual task. I think for the three of us, we are open to receive how our different perspectives. You know what I mean? Like you have been open to receive my perspective on what I see or what I see that you are, and I have been open to receive your perspective on what you see of who I am. At the same time, we bring our families, and it's like, this is us with our flaws and our pros and our strengths and our weaknesses. And we are not less than because we come with this package. It's like, yes, I take you as you are, and that is a very beautiful thing to practice, I guess. And going back and circle the conversation about our kids, it's like, yes, they are two little beings that could be considered as too much, because it's like, you are too much. It's like, no, they are who they are, and we are taking them as they are.
Yes.
Like for my child, who is a tornado inside of this box, because this is the only box that Ivan and I had let him be a tornado. It's always been, you are safe to be a tornado in our presence, but I do not want you to bring your tornado out of our family, because people will, that will not be well taken. And so he somehow has or had learned how to be a tornado, a contained tornado. But in the process of being a contained tornado, all the anger that creates in that being is like, my goodness, you are forcing me to be on this space. This is my only space. So that's why when he comes to this space and he needs to be, and he's like, I'm going to explode in here, mama. And it's like, please don't, because there are other humans in here, like, the volcano, but I cannot contain it anymore, because that is part of being and feeling safe. It's like, this continues being your container. It's just a little bit bigger now. And I hope that as our community grows, I can let go of the barriers that I have created for my child to not be that contained tornado that I have been protecting somehow. And at the same time, giving him opportunities to channel that energy into creating something that he came to create. He comes with a charge to create something in this planet. And the more I contain him, the less space I will give him to experience and explore and to be. The feeling safe starts with us. So for me, personally, coming with my weirdness and, all that I am.
Yeah, I think it comes with, at some point, realizing, like, obviously I am the way that I am and you are the way that you are, but that willingness also to peel back the layers and figure out why. We've had many conversations recently about why, yes, she's the way she is, I'm the way I am, but also seeing how that has manifested in these two kids that we're specifically talking about.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm like, why does Nico do this? And she's like, well, let me tell you. This is my understanding.
Let me pull the file.
Yeah. Well, yes. And then she's like, and I've noticed that Felix is like this. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, of course, because blah, blah, like, because it's so obvious to me why Felix is the way he is.
Yeah.
And it is so obvious to her why Nico is the way he is. But we don't, I don't know, we don't like apply that same knowledge to each other's kids. So
we didn't, because I think where we are at now, I would like to believe, at least, I would like to believe that we are somehow a little bit further
oh, for sure.
forward
Yes.
in where we are in how we appreciate and understand each other's child.
Yes.
Actually is so, my goodness, in alignment, because I have been in, like I've had a bug in my mind for quite a while, maybe a month, 2 months. You had a friend coming over, and she was so much fun for my son. And he's like, and he openly and like very honesty share with me. He's like, oh my goodness, my mom, this woman is so fun. She just went into the river and jumped in the river, and like she was so much fun. And I was like, and he said to me, I wish you could be as fun as her. And I was like, oh my god. That, like, I don't consider myself a fun person in that sense. I could be fun in other ways, but as like, I don't know how to even express that aspect of being fun.
Yeah.
For him, adventurous, outdoorsy, yes. Like for him was like, oh, this is the best thing, because he has a poor child, has a mom that spends the time. Like, I would love to just be in meditation and just read my books and chant my mantras. And, like, I am so hyper calmed. Can you say that?
Yes.
That my poor twister is like, can I just? And it's like, no, because we are zen. Until I lose my shit. And he's like, I'm not zen anymore because you, twister, are just invading my space. Just keep it quiet. But now you come. And it's like, oh my gosh, you are not that zen. And it's just, you have a second mom. Go on adventures. Go jump. Go. Like, he has done things with you that I don't dare to do with him, because I am not that kind of mom, and you can provide that for him. And that makes it just perfect. At the same time for Fifi, who is also very out there, but he needs, and he's just screaming for moments of zen, like, just be calm. You can tell, like, it looks like he is bored, he's bugging. It's like, no, that child, what he wants is just to be calm, but he needs to learn how to be calm. So with this space over here, it's like, okay, just come. And the Tenshy has all the bells and the things, and like meditation. Let's just sit down and be in calm, and it makes it perfect.
Yeah, and through them, like, I think we're enabling them to find their own balance, and by using them as like the benchmark, like if we help them find their own balance, we are going to come into our balance as this new group of 8 humans that lives in a shared space.
The balance in the energies is so important. Sometimes we feel like, oh, to be a certain way, I have to be in meditation, or to be fun, I just have to be jumping and jumping. When in reality is the balance of up and down, up and down, up and down. And the same is life. Like, life is not supposed to be always happy and easy. We need the challenges too, because it's through the challenges and the chaos that we can move forward and create. And the same balance comes when we are open to receive and we are open to give. All that brings balance into life. I think to close, I would like to invite you guys to tune into the energy of the cosmos right now, because the cosmos right now is asking us for alignment and balance, to go into balance, to find what your balance is. What does it mean for you? What are the levels of quietness? And it's like to go and learn when to stop. learn when to stop and just be. Actually, it's a balance between the doing and the being.
Yes, there you go.
Is a balance between the being and the doer. Is a balance of opening and closing. Actually, sometimes it's like, no, I want to close in, I want to go inward, and I would love your help, but right now I have to say no, because I am going to go inward. I'm going to be inside of me, finding the answers on my own. And yes, I'm going to be willing to give right now, and at the same time I'm going to be willing to receive.
Yeah, and balancing in the being and the doing, but not just like the physical. Like you think about doing, it's like, you know, raking the yard and doing the physical things, and being is just like being still. But the mental,
Yes.
the mental doing versus mental being as well. You know what I mean? Like it's not just getting your body into a rhythm of like, okay, let's do some things and then let's sit still and be calm. But our minds are consistently full of things and like racing and doing and making checklists and thinking about all the things. And we need to give ourselves time for our minds to just be as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, that's like revolutionary to me, but I don't want to keep talking about a new thing. So many things. We always come up with so many new episodes to talk about in our conversations, which is why if there was not a camera in front of us, we would be up till 3 a.m. discussing all the little nuanced details that keep coming up in our conversations. But we'll leave it there today, leaving you with a call to action to check yourself and your balance between doing and being physically, mentally. Yeah, I like what you said about also like some people are givers and we give all the time and we burn ourselves out. So check your balance between giving and receiving and figure out if you have a safe space within yourself to permit yourself to find that balance, I guess, because that's the starting point, finding that safe space inside yourself.
Yeah, finding a safe space for being.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the balance for doing. Okay, well, our beautiful producer is like, cut it, we're getting too long. So with this, we're saying bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and you will be notified every time we have new videos and new conversations and new discoveries.